Within my 21 years of life, I have witnessed my parents bury 3 of their own parents, and them thinking they had everything taken care of just because they had life insurance. But unfortunately, they shopped for caskets, outfits, and spent money that they did not want to spend. Having money to cover costs for a funeral is just not enough. As we all look into the future to plan for our retirement and long-term care, it is essential that we not only simply have a burial policy to cover the costs, but it is also vital that all the arrangements are pre-planned so that our exact wishes are carried out, and especially to take the burden from the loved ones during the immediate time of loss. It is also necessary to avoid overspending for our loved ones in this time of grief. According to today's Senior Network, more Americans value funeral services, but less than 30% of people actually pre-plan their funeral. Having this pre-planned prevents overspending. Wakes and funerals have become more than last goodbyes and comforts to the family. In the last few years, people have chosen pictures of the loved ones that have passed to put into slideshows to show at the wake. Having pictures pre-selected prevents heartache. Others don't know that having more than a certain number of pictures will also add to extra cash that has to be paid at the end of the funeral. People lately have been choosing cremation over burials, but in either way, the urns and the caskets need to be chosen before the death. My great-grandma, who is actually 98 years old, had her outfit attire for her funeral already chosen out, which was helpful, whereas my grandmother did not. I can vividly remember my mom and my aunt having to go shop for my grandmother's attire for her funeral because she had not had it chosen out. At this time, it is depressing for individuals because they know this will be the last item they spend for the individual, which is heartbreaking. And this can also cause overspending because of the grief. Having the actual service planned is crucial as well. It helps to have pallbearers planned out, as well as the songs chosen out, who will be the ministers, who will say the eulogy, what readings will be chosen out of the Bible, or do they want the actual funeral in a funeral home or in a church? Suggested by Ever Plans, pallbearers should be asked ahead of time because certain people may not have the emotional ability to do a good job carrying a casket. This also would be good for the person who would be singing, who's giving the eulogy, or who's doing the reading. The final resting place needs to be ready, waiting, and paid in full. Stated by the National Funeral Directors Association, families find comfort in knowing that the funeral reflects what the person would have loved and gives them peace of mind to not have the more important decisions chosen at this hard time. Losing a loved one is difficult enough without having to go through this grueling process of arranging a wake or a funeral to today's standards. Whether you are alone or with other family members, no one wants to go through their arrangements for the funeral during this emotional time. From the slideshow to the music, to who's speaking and who does not speak, caskets or cremation, pallbearers, church, and finally, where will the remains lay forever? There are so many options out there. According to an article in USA Today, a husband describes it was remarkable what she had done already. It was a huge relief to have to make funeral plans during such an emotional time. It was just pouring salt into an open wound. Everything was taken care of. We have to do more than just plan out spiritually for our death and others like that. Plan Now states, planning your funeral arrangements in advance is an important responsibility and is one of the greatest gifts you can give to your loved ones. We are not promised another breath that we are taking right now. If it is your last, who would agonize in planning for your funeral? Do not wait another day. We are not guaranteed another one.